Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you people are from watching this, if you're watching this at all. So today I'm going to finish up this model that I've started to create working from basically a Mid-Journey prompt, which I don't take any credit for. A quick introduction to this project. Basically, I've always wanted to make a sneaker, a good looking sneaker, but I'm not a shoe designer. And so I thought to myself, there is AI that right now it's making a lot of noise and people seem to either hate it or like it or love it. And so there are these two sides of AI. One, which is, okay, we have a world of opportunities, and the other one is artists that are using it in a way that sometimes cannot be justified, like by just stealing the style of another artist and creating art and calling it their own and patting themselves on the back for just prompting things to a machine that basically does this instead of them putting the work. At the same time, you have this sort of like situation where we already do this when, for instance, 3D artists buy assets or they buy brush sets. However, the counter argument there is that you still have to do the work yourself and you still have to interpret these things yourself with your own head. And so, what I'm trying to say is that we are at an interesting place right now with the technological evolution where, there is this thing happening, and I know that 1 or 2 years down the road, this is going to become a tool that a lot more people are going to incorporate in their production. And so, I'm trying to sort of like understand what is happening in order not to be left behind, if that makes any sense. Personally, I don't think the AI is going to be stopped. Too many people are using it, and there is an economical end means to that. And so I don't think the companies are going to be like, oh, people are complaining, we're gonna stop AI and we're not gonna let people use these tools anymore. And so I don't know. Anyway, the thing is that I have created by prompting. Okay, I'm just gonna say that this image using Mid-Journey. This took maybe 4 or 5 iterations, and the funny thing is that I only prompted something like, I think, maybe I'm wrong, futuristic sneaker, chunky sole. I didn't even give it the brand, I don't think. But automatically when I said futuristic sneaker, it came out looking like a Nike shoe. And there are some elements in this shoe that I recognize from other models of Nike, like the Hyper Adapt, maybe a Kobe shoe, one of the early Kobe shoes. So, I thought it was very interesting. But if you do make an analysis, a geometrical analysis of this shoe, there is a lot happening in this image that doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like, how are these shapes meeting? Where is the room for the foot? Is this at the back? Is this at the front? How is this lacing system working? And so basically what I did, I said, okay, let me approach this as a designer. Let me take this image and let me look at it from as a designer, right? And so what I did, I overlaid the image. Let me see if I can unlock Photoshop. Where is it now? Hey, Photoshop, where are you? Oh, there it is. There you go. And so I made a paint over. starting of course from the image that I created. Actually, let me open this as well so that we can have them side by side, and I can tell you a little bit of the work that I had to do. Whoops. There you go. And so, you know, like I had to make sense a little bit of the volumes and of the elements of the shoe. I like the fact that, you know, I was not able in this image to really define what part was the sole, and I think this was sort of like a an element that I was looking for in the design, you know, to have a sole that more or less integrates better with the upper part. And so basically I redesigned these straps. Of course, you know, I had to place the logo in a way that it made a little bit more sense, made a little bit more room for the actual foot here. This shape is just a nice shape. I don't think that this could work as an actual toe for the shoe. Then, you know, like I saw in this area here a possibility to introduce some interesting geometry. This writing down here didn't make a lot of sense, so I thought maybe I'll place some zoom dumping sort of like elements here. And so I designed these elements starting from this shoe. Now, you know, like the idea that everybody can be a designer because of AI, I don't agree with that sentiment, because eventually when I was given this, it took me a couple of days to sort of like redesign this shoe based on this idea. And I do think that I have an advantage because myself, sorry, I am a designer, and so I do have a little bit more of understanding of proportions and dimensions. And so, you know, to get to this final product, it took me a little bit of time because I had to basically rationalize a lot of the things that Midjourney just guessed, right? And given that, you know, sooner or later the algorithms and all the technology that is behind it's going to give us better results, I still do think that this is something that only designers can do, because designers understand design better than the layman. But, you know, this is all just conjecture, so to say. Let me close this. I'll leave this here for now, because I'm going to look for the reference here. There we go. Is anybody watching? No, nobody's watching. Okay, I'm alone. So I'm basically just talking out loud right now. Okay, so this is the model that I started working on. Where's my pen? Oh, I left the pen on the other. Hold on. And here I am. Okay, so I'm gonna continue now sculpting this shoe. There are some details that still need to be finalized. Although I do think that I'm in a good place already now. There is still a little bit of refining that I have to do. All right, so. Okay, so this part is done. Let me just I'm trying to tighten up a little bit these shapes, as you can see, using the pinch brush. And all things considered, like, I'm happy with the result, of course, for now. Then you're really gonna see the end product once it's rendered, right? Trying to get these little details to work. And these little things, I basically come to the conclusion that they need to be realized with a lot of patience. And you really have to go in and be, you know, like, you have to give yourself the time, put it this way. There we go. So basically what I'm doing, I'm drawing and then I'm smoothing. And I create, you know, this. Good. Here it needs a little bit of smoothing. And then I'm gonna tighten up this part. A couple of times. And then smooth out these corners. As you can see, the shape is coming out nice. Maybe I'll move these edges a little bit closer. There you go. Move this little piece of the sculpt a little bit further. And then smooth it out. Trying to make sure that all the transition are more or less smooth. we go. Great. Now I'm gonna bring a little bit more of these details down to this corner. Nice. Okay, maybe I'll tighten up this area here, but I'll do that with the, instead of the line, with the space and with a stabilized stroke. F to make my brush a tight bit smaller, and that's it. And as you can see, this really helps smoothing out the shapes. Very good. Okay. What else do we do? I'm actually happy with the way this looks. Maybe what I'll do, I'll create a triangle there, small details. There you go. Yeah, like that. Good. There is still this area that I need to sort out. Let me draw a line again. This is too big, of course. So let's see now. Better. I'm gonna dig a little bit the inside area a little bit better. I'm gonna try and wait a second here. I want to have a deeper transition. I'm gonna try and grab this a little bit. Somebody just liked my video. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for the kind like. This is wrong. I don't want to do that. Let me see if I can. There we go. I'll move this a little bit lower this way. I'm looking continuously to the reference, which is this one, of course. So I'm trying to be as faithful as possible. Although I have to say that in this case, this shape, it's really not that similar. But I don't feel like going in and change it completely. So I'm just gonna try and approximate it. There we go. And I'm gonna try and pinch this corner here. So that it gets a little bit tighter. There we go. I'll do the same here. I'll change to line so that I can have a clear stroke. There we go. There's still a weird transition happening here. Maybe I just have to go in with a very tiny brush. You see, and sculpt it. in a way that makes a little bit more sense. Again, like, you know, take your time to do this kind of stuff. With a grab brush, I try to move this a little bit so that it looks straighter. And then I'll pinch again all these areas. And then I sort of like want this to fade. So what I'll do, I'll smooth it on the way out. There we go. And maybe I'll crease it right here. A little bit more. And then again, smooth it. I'll crease it again. And then smooth it so that the transition is gradual, as you can see. And it needs a little bit of a general smoothing. I think it's good enough. Good. Okay, so another thing that I want to do a little bit of build up around this area to sort of have a more pronounced shape. I could crease it. Maybe that would be enough. And then tighten up the part on top. Let's try this. So I'll do a crease and I'll change from line to space with a stabilized stroke. Whoever is watching, say hi. Let me know that you're watching. I'll make this smaller. And then with control, I will. This is maybe a little bit too big. This is okay. And then I'll just smooth a little bit. And that's exactly what I wanted to have. Maybe I need to bring this line a little bit further. Oops. Maybe I'll do this corner as well. And then with the smooth key, I'll smooth everything. This part needs a little bit more smoothing. There you go. I'm liking this. Good, so maybe we'll tighten up a little bit this line here with a, with a nice pinch. Instead of line, we'll use a space with a stabilized stroke, and we'll walk slowly And as you can see, this is a little bit more defined. I'll do the same here. Maybe I'll continue this way. Perfect. I could add some shapes here, but the sole, it will require me to give it a little bit of love as well. I like how the shapes are slowly coming to life. This area here needs to be smoothed. Maybe completely blended, I don't know. This area also needs to be smoothed a little bit. And here I have to do a little bit of build up. Space with stabilized stroke. Nice. Okay. Now I could also pinch a little bit this area. Actually, let's do that. And I'll do it as a line. So the pinch basically really gives me this idea of like this being more of a hard surface. There we go. And then with a normal draw brush, I'll just smooth this area. Could make a little bit more build up down there, but it's not super necessary. I'll pinch also this area here. Actually, here I can just pinch it all the way to this element. There we go. And I'll pinch also this entire portion here, but I'll change to, instead of line, space and a stabilized stroke. Great. So let me go around. Can give it another pass. Whoops. Okay, I'm liking this. I think it's going in the right place. How did I do this line? This line it's a little bit different because then it would have to travel up there and it would have to be a little bit tighter. Let's see. We need a little bit of build up there. Keeping the pressure really, really low. And I'll just move a little bit of this geometry in that direction. Great. Yeah, that's okay. I like it this way. So there is a connection with this element, so I'm gonna smooth it. I'll smooth also this area. I am happy with what I have so far. I think it's good enough. What is that person watching from home thinking? Do you like this design? So okay, let me bring this a little bit further down. Nice. Good. Okay, this area can also be smoothed. Now I'm giving a lot of love to the external side of the shoe. You see this side. The inside will also need a little bit of rework. There are some areas that need to be finished. But as far as I'm concerned, you know, like I feel like I'm already in a in a good place with this, with what I have here, so it's okay. Okay, I'm gonna switch the mesh. I'm gonna work on the upper sole or on the toe, whatever they call this. There you go. And I'm gonna hide the sole, and I'm also gonna hide the logo. Actually, let me move the logo in my main collection. So now I'm on the top. First thing I want to do is, wait a second, was I drawing with the, my love, vieni qua, vieni. Pepper. Hold on, my dog is freaking out. My love, what's up? Face it. Everything okay? Oh, you're so beautiful. Look at you, you're the cutest. You wanna come with daddy? Vieni qua, vieni, lavoriamo assieme, vieni. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna smooth this whole toe box here. Then I'm gonna go in with the grab brush to sort of like move a little bit all these undulations to sort of like break them a little bit. My dog freaks out because the kids that live upstairs, they run and they make a lot of noise. And so she's an old lady, so she barks at them. It's like, ah, shut up. It's Saturday afternoon. Leave me alone. There we go. Okay. So what I'll do here, I'll do a little bit of build up. Okay, so let me see. What's the pressure on this thing? It's too low. Let me raise it a little bit. And let me start from a corner. There we go. Let's do it again. Nice. Okay, so I'm gonna try and smooth this area. I'll smooth this area here. I'm gonna grab a little bit these areas so to sort of have a less harsh transition. Very patiently, you see. Good. Do the same here. It's good enough for now. I'll do a little bit of build up around this. Maybe it's a little bit too small. Okay, and then I'm gonna smooth this area. Let me bring back the other textures, so the strap and the sole. Good. And also the logo. the logo really helps, giving it this nice shape. One thing that I'm looking that I find a little bit different from the design that I've created is that there is a little bit too much space around here, which means that I have to actually move the geometry back. Not a problem. First of all, I'm gonna push this whole thing inside a little bit because it's right now it's intersecting. It's expected since, you know, I've blown up this part. And what I'll do is from the side view, I'll just and I'll move the geometry down this way so that it gets closer to, as you can see, like to the reference. You see this line is a lot tighter, and I kind of like that. Nice. So I'll do the same on the other side. Maybe I have to adjust it here with the mouse. There you go. So now all I have to do is look for the reference on the other side of the geometry. And it's okay if it's not perfect. You know, shoes usually are not perfect. There you go. The viewport is lagging a little bit. Can we get it to work? Okay, great. So this is fixed. Now what I'll do is with Alt Q, I switch again to my sole. So there we go. Clicking the wrong button there. Great. Okay, so what it's left now? Maybe I could refine a little bit more the lacing part, which is not a lacing, it's more like bracing, right? But I think I'm done with like the sculpt. Maybe I have to smooth a little bit this area here because it's a little bit too harsh. But all things considered, I think I have this in the place where I wanted it to be. There you go. That's better. And that's it. This is the sculpt done for now. Maybe I'll look at it a little bit more. I don't know, tomorrow. I need a little bit of a fresh mind. Also, like, I might give it a little bit more love to this side, although I'm thinking to keep this side a little bit cleaner. And then I'll retopologize this, bring it into Substance, and then create all the nice crispy details that Substance allows you to create. And that'll be the end of it. I hope that you like this. Hi, Luca. Although, you know, with these streams, I don't really get to teach anything. It's just that we spend a little bit of time together, Luca and I, because he's the only person watching right now. Maybe I'll do a little bit of build up here. Lower the pressure. And then just... That's too much, you see? So if I want to do that, I need to go in with a brush that it's just light. And as I already mentioned, you know, I don't like to work with the pen pressure. I'm simply not capable. So what I'll do is that I come here with a light stroke and then I'll smooth everything. There you go. Good. Luca, what are you doing? You don't have anything better to do than come and watch my stream? No, I'm actually really happy that somebody's watching this stuff. Even if you're alone, just consider yourself to be extremely privileged. Nah. Good. Now basically what I'm doing, I'm correcting all these minor variations, which by the way you'll find in real designs in real life. So you know, it's like this is really cherry picking. Good. Okay, and I think I'm gonna call it the day for now, and maybe tomorrow I'll get back to retopologizing. I don't know, we'll see. I'll make some overnight considerations. Okay. Oh, show it to me, send me a link so that I can look at it. I'm really curious to see what people do in their own spare artistic time, put it this way. Don't want to know what you're doing in your spare private time. Yeah, so this area, for instance, you see, like here, I'm required to have to smooth quite a bit of geometry. Schmut, schmut, schmut. Schmut, schmut, schmut. Schmut, schmut, schmut. Let me save. That's a good practice. Schmut, schmut, schmut. Let's schmut everything out. I need to schmut, schmut, schmut. I'll wait until you send me the project and then I'll stop the stream. Cause they don't like you, Let me pinch a little bit this area here. I like the fact that, this shoe is like asymmetrical. Okay. It's now a photomontage archivist project. Send it. Don't worry. Don't hesitate. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Na, 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 na. I didn't shop. Send it to me on Instagram. Instagram always works. That's why I encourage people to interact with me on Instagram. It links the bridge between YouTube and the what I wanted to do the other day and I forgot to do it is to crease this area going down. So I have the space, the stabilize, there you go. I thought this would be a good idea for a sole design. See, with this like element down here. Maybe I'll continue doing this. Okay, sent on Instagram, I'll go get it. Hold on, stay there. Instagram. Get a message. Hi, Luca. And I also followed you back. Let me see. Ooh, nice. Would it be okay if I put it on the screen of the what is it called, of the stream? Is it okay if I share it with the people watching? Yeah. Okay, good. So I maximize this. Oh, I see. Okay. It seems like somewhere in Eastern Europe, I sort of see a little bit of like brutalist architecture, but it could be Vienna, it could be Austria. Although in Austria, now that I think about it, there are not so many exposed cables anymore. Where is it? Serbia. Okay, Serbia. Yeah, yeah, it's very nice. You need to like, well, in my own opinion, the usually the things that give it away that this is a sort of like um, CGI overimposure is the fact that like the colors are really popping, but usually that's what the clients want. Um, don't forget to add a layer of noise on top of it, to match the surrounding picture. And actually, it would be cool to put the same lights that you got in the picture on top of you see the traffic lights. But probably you spend a lot of time cleaning up the picture so that you don't have to deal with that. But it's a nice image. It's a nice image. I like more contrasty work. So, for instance, if I were you, I would probably go in and put a lot more contrast in it. But it comes down to personal preferences. How long did you work on this? Okay. I'm here waiting for you to answer the 1,000 questions that I asked you. Hey, Kerhab, how are you? So, okay, I like it. I like it. So you took many different pictures and then rebuilt the picture without any lights or anything. Time lapse, and then try to render out time lapse. Ah, okay, I get it. I get it. Yeah, it's very nice. Uh, you know, you have to do a little bit more work on it, but I think it's going in the right direction. Okay, then let me ask you another question, Luca. What type of music do you listen to when you work? Oh, I'm gonna look at the time lapse. Wait, still not there. Say sorry, this page isn't available. Hold on. Maybe I have to go to your. Is it this one? No. Is it a story? Yeah, the what is it called? The desktop app doesn't work. Sorry. Okay, you sent it as a file. Hold on, I'll go back. Instagram. Yes, I see. Yeah, very nice. I love making time lapses. When back a few years ago when I was traveling a lot more because of work and everything, I would spend a lot of time making time lapses of all the cities that I was visiting, and I don't know. It's there's something beautiful and poetic about, especially in the very early morning when the city wakes up and you see all these things moving. I remember back in the days I used to work for Chaos Group in Sofia, and so I would go oftentimes, a couple of times a year, even more, 3, 4 times a year. I would go to Sofia, and I used to stay in a hotel which was a tower, very tall, and so in the morning you could see the city basically waking up, and the office of Chaos Group is on one of the main roads that goes into the city, and so it was beautiful. But also Vienna, I remember, making time lapses in the morning. It was, I don't know, there's something poetic about a time lapse. Wait, you wrote something else? Yes, I was. I still watch Casey Neistat. I think the guy is great. I love his personality and everything. And to be fair, like maybe I also wanted to be a little bit like him back then when I thought that like vlogging was cool. But I do think that like people have to have sort of like a natural attitude to create that kind of content. Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass, I don't know. Anyway, to a certain point with me, that's also one of the reasons why I stopped to make content, in the face of Corona and everything, is that a lot of content creators, they really force a positive outlook on life, even when sometimes you can't be positive. Like the whole Corona thing, a lot of content creators were creating super positive content, which I think it just adds to the general noise, because it's like people are not having a fun time. There is a lockdown, you're not allowed to go anywhere, people are losing jobs. You can't make it look like you're having a great time. And one might say, yeah, but I do it to entertain people and to make them feel a little less bad. But I do think that a lot of us don't see that anymore, right? We take a lot of the things that we see online as real, and oftentimes that's not the case. Anyway, at a certain point I felt like I was being part of the problem, with having a voice and everything. Because then everybody's asking you, hey, but how are you doing? Is everything really so good? It's like, maybe it's not. Okay, so now I'm gonna stop the stream. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate it, and nice meeting you, Luca. I don't know, have we ever met in person? I've been to Serbia a couple of times. Yes, indeed, very strange times. I've been to Serbia a couple of times. Once I went to see a client, and another time I went for a conference. Serbian people are fantastic, man, and the food. Oh my god. I am, as you probably imagine, not a vegan vegetarian. So, I had a field day when I came to Serbia. We're having kebabs and all those platters of meat, and we're paying like nothing, just a few bucks. Okay, well, like you can always come to the D2. Maybe next year we're celebrating our 10th anniversary. We're planning to make a very nice big party and hopefully we're gonna have a lot of nice guests, and we're gonna put on a nice show. If you don't know the D2, it's a digital design conference that I organized together with my partners in Vienna. Man, I'm liking this. I'm really liking this. Hopefully it's gonna come out. Hopefully by the time that I'm finished with this, it's going to look the way I want it. Okay, so shift to smooth it out. Need you to stay. Now I'm listening to Justin Bieber. Okay. Yes, so next year we're celebrating our 10th birthday. And it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait. Stroke. Okay, let's try. Maybe I need to have some shaped element here. I don't know, something that makes it look like you know what I'll do? I'll do this. Look at this. So it's set to space line. Not enough. Let's make it a little stronger. Yeah, I'll put a little element like this. I think it will look nice. Let me switch to space, stabilize stroke. Whoops, wrong. Let's do it again. So this is a little tag. How do we do this? I'll take some clay, make it a little bit bigger, and then I'll just fill the geometry. Ever so slightly, like my friend Pedro says. There you go. So I fill up this shape. Myself, I listen to hip hop mainly. A lot of Italian hip hop. Napolitan actually, because I'm from the south of Italy, and there are a lot of like talented hip hop artists in the south of Italy, and I like to listen to a lot of trap, but I also have those moments where I listen to rock, like you know, Led Zeppelin, what are they called? Like, you know, the Nirvana, what is it called? The style that they play. Anyway, Pearl Jam, that kind of stuff, you know, like from when I was a teenager. Very good music. Okay, so I've created this little tag. Now I'm gonna sort of like give it a little bit more definition. Maybe I can work with a straight line. I really need to wrap this up. But it's okay. You see, for me, this is like grunge. Yes, yes. Luca, we're connected, man. Let me draw a line here. Oh, look, I'm really happy that you say that. I really appreciate it. I wish I want to go back to make that kind of content. It's just that I think, right now there is a little bit too much noise out there, and we as a society are talking a lot in order to just make a point and not to communicate, if that makes any sense. And so, I don't know. What I'm trying to say is that there is a lot of shouting right now, and people are like mad, and there is a lot of noise and a lot of people with opinions. And I think this is not a good time for us to be nice and supportive to each other. I don't know. It's difficult, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is just the way I feel myself. But like, for instance, from this crisis, the one thing that I'm doing is trying to take a little bit of time for myself. Yes, of course, I make these videos where I share a little bit of what I'm up to and the work that I'm doing. But this is I feel like a time where people should talk a little bit less and listen a little bit more, to sort of like reset a little bit the humanity levels that we have inside of us, if that makes any sense. Because I don't know, like I see it, in the streets, in online. There's just like people being angry for no real reason, like, And I do think that this is a consequence of us being exposed too much to information all the time. And so I'm saying this because, like, I liked making that content. I like talking to people. But right now I feel like, people, what they need is a little bit quiet time. And maybe this will last a little bit longer, but it's okay, We make an event where we bring people together, we let them speak, we let them connect, and I feel like this is already enough. I hope it makes sense. Um, I agree and disagree with that sentiment, because like, okay, let me explain to you where I come from in terms of like my experience. It used to be like social media was a place where you find information, right? And this information was helpful, it was great, fantastic, like it was a place where people were happy to get the information. Now instead the dynamic has changed a little bit. People put out content not because they want to put out good information, and of course, I'm generalizing here, but generally speaking, people put out content not because they want to be helpful or because they, I don't know. I feel like the intention has changed. People put out content because they want to be relevant and they want to be seen and heard, which I think it's a little bit. It's not always good, because it really becomes a competition to who shouts the louder. And in times like this, probably it's like being in an argument. If you're having an argument with somebody that doesn't want to listen, you're wasting time trying to explaining yourself. That's the way I see it. With that said, like I'm not going anywhere. I'm still here. I still get my daily amount of hate. Like you make videos about the business side of design and people tell you, but why you talk about the business side of design? You're not good at making renderings. Okay, then you make good renderings and they'll tell you, oh, well, like everybody can follow a tutorial and make a nice render. And it's like, okay, you can never win, right? In this situation. So I'm like, okay, I take my time off. People want to use their own energies to feel better about themselves by pushing others down. Let them do it, Keep your energy to make good work, to focus on your own things, and you'll have a better existence. Put it this way. Exactly. Let me ask you another thing, just off topic, because I was thinking about it before. With which kind of tools do you work right now? Oh, too thick. I'm liking this, people. I think this is going to look great. I love to work on like these this kind of stuff, where you do a lot of sculpting and you're like, spending a lot of time to do all the nice details, and then you post it on social media, 15 likes. I have like more than 8,000 people are looking at my work, and on an image, I'm lucky if I get like 50 likes. Nice. But we don't do it for the likes. We do it for ourselves. Yes, of course, the likes make you happy. But if people don't want to support you, it's their deal. Okay, let me smooth this out. And let me crease this a little bit more. Who knew? Okay, crease. No, sorry, I wanna pinch it. 3ds Max, Corona, After Effects, and Photoshop. Okay, nice. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, framed ink. Did you hear about this from Mike Golden Drokis? It's a great book. I have it too. It's so important to spend time on these things. You see, like you see a lot of the mistakes that you make just by studying your own designs, right? That's another thing that I think it's a problem also with social media. Like oftentimes we feel forced to have to put out work simply because, you know, like we gotta feed the algorithm, when the reality is that really good work takes a long time, you know. I did for more than a year. I tried to do the um, everydays, you know, and I have so much respect for people like Beeple, because it's like it's so difficult. And everybody who puts out a piece of work every day, my God, it is torture. It really is. I have the feeling that the crease is not working. Is it? Let me see. Crease. It's working. Okay, so right, because I have the stabilized stroke on. Yes. Okay, so yes. Don't beat yourself up. It's trust me, I've tried a lot of things. It's hard, you know. It's hard. But now, really, I don't care anymore. I just do things, you know, when I think that they're good enough, I put them out there. If they're not good enough, you know, like sometimes I the reason why I post some work, it's because I'm like, if I keep working on it, I'll never finish it. And so I posted just to say I'm done, you know? It's finished. I don't have to think about it anymore. And that's it. But I'm spending a lot more time you know, trying to improve. Like I want to become better at sculpting, and I want to also learn better the PBR workflow. I'm starting on Monday with a what is it called, Unreal Engine workshop. So, you know, I'm also gonna jump on the Unreal Engine bandwagon. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere here. Nice, I like this little detail. I know that it doesn't look like much, but it really does help breaking, you know, the... What do you guys think, huh? It's not bad. Good. Okay, so what do we do now? 1F, and let's smooth out a little bit the geometry. And then I'm gonna pinch everything together. There you go. It's a workshop organized by one of these training centers which work with the Epic Mega Grant. And so basically what happened is that there are quite a few companies who are getting money from Epic Games to teach free workshops of Unreal, and also to get Unreal people certified. And so the advantage is that you can simply go to the Unreal website and look for Unreal workshops that are taking place either online or maybe there are also some workshops taking place in Serbia, because like what is it called, the Epic Games, they're very aggressive in their growth strategy, right? And so you can find easily a Unreal workshop, maybe just in the city where you live. They're making a lot of these free things. Okay, as you can see, I cannot what is it called, multitask. I'm trying to keep my flow steady. This doesn't look good. Okay, and the one that I'm doing is with an old friend of mine who actually works as a trainer for Unreal. He did he's qualified and everything. And so he told me that there was this workshop happening, and luckily I managed to join right before the deadline. But eventually they have a lot of these workshops happening all the time. And I also did a private workshop which lasted 2 weekends. But Unreal, there is so much stuff to learn. It's one of those things where you're like, god damn it. Okay. I'm liking this. I'm gonna stop this right here. Save, file, save. And then maybe tomorrow I'll get back to the strap, which I think it's the last thing that I really have to take care of. Maybe this area I could spend a little bit of time cleaning it up, making it a little bit more straight, and soft and everything. But all things considered, I think this is looking good. We'll have to see how this looks once I bring it into what's the name of that guy? Painter, Substance Painter. Right now I'm doing a lot of things in Substance Painter. I think it's a great PBR workflow is really amazing, if you know, of course, what you're doing. Luckily enough, I know enough people here that are willing to give me a little bit of help. God bless their souls. So many tools to learn and stuff, Like I started with all this with all the, what is it called, sculpting, and a friend of mine was like, oh man, the stuff that you're doing is great, but you need to learn ZBrush. And I'm like, god damn it, another software. First of all, I don't have the money, and second, it's like, how much freaking RAM space do you need in your brain to learn all these things? Reality is that I'm old. I'm running out of brain space. Oh, thank you so much. Sorry, Luca. I was like, I just kept drawing and I forgot about looking. I'm glad that you like it, man. Okay, that part we'll leave it this way. Maybe we'll pinch this a little bit more. There you go. We'll pinch this part too. We'll pinch this part too. This is looking good. It's looking good. What I need is this part here, which I already want to put in. I'm talking about this part here. So I'm gonna create a quick mask. And the mask, you do it with the number 2 button. Make sure that you're not in symmetry. And then you simply draw it. Let's draw it with, not with a line, but with a space and a stabilized stroke. I'll make this let's see. So it needs to be a little bit softer, smaller and longer. This is too thin. Make it slightly bigger. And let's try. Okay, I've done this. Now I go to mask, increase contrast. And down here I have the filter that allows me to increase the contrast. And now I'm gonna invert the mask with control, right? Is it control? Let me draw a line. There you go. And then another line in this direction, more or less. That's too big. Control Z, F to make it smaller. Good, so. Great, now I invert the mask. As you can see, this is where the problems are. You have to redefine the mask a little bit more. Great, and then I use the move tool. And it doesn't matter where the move tool is, it's just gonna move. Is it snapping somewhere? It's snapping. Don't snap. Okay, if I push control, that will make it slower. There you go. So now I have that element there. Give it a minute to recompute. Alt M to clear the mask. And now all I have to do is go to my remesher. Maybe I'll add a little bit of geometry. Put it to 0.04. Click on remesh. I need a little bit of water. Let's remesh everything. Great. So this is done. Let's grab the draw brush. with a little bit of smoothing. And maybe I'll crease a little bit this area here. So instead of the line, I'll use the space mode with stabilized stroke. Good. And I'll do the same here. Just so that when I go and smooth this, it retains a little bit more information. Eventually I'll have to smooth it a little bit more. It's important to see how such small details really break, you know, the rhythm of the this area here needs to be flattened a little bit, so I'll do a little bit of a build up with some clay. The clay is set to line, so I'll go down this way. There we go. And then I'll say flatten. Flat. We'll set it up also to line. What this flat does is that it calculates the average height of the surface and then tries to make it flat. It's looking a little bit better. See? I'm almost like thinking to bring this line all the way up to make it a little bit more different from the outside. Yeah, let's just do that. I know that I said that I was gonna log off, but this is the problem. It's like, for me, 3D modeling and creating stuff, it's like Nutella. You start with a spoon, and 3 jars later, you're wondering why your body is not ready for the beach yet. I mean, I just had a jar of Nutella. Why am I fat? Yeah. Okay, that's my story. Yeah, I'm not fat shaming anybody. I'm fat shaming myself. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Pinch, 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 pinch. Nice. Wait, let me grab. Good. Let me pinch this area. Going down. I'm gonna tell you guys a secret about me right now. I'm listening to Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber and Chance the Rapper. It's the way you make me feel so holy, 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 holy. loca. Obviously, I'm not as good as him. And you know what? I say that with shame. I used to be a Justin Bieber hater, but now I'm a believer. Justin Bieber is good, I'm sorry. I gotta say that. Hey Jonathan, what's going on, man? Everything okay? Nice to for you to pop in and checking this out. I'm making a shoe today. Hold on, let me finish this and I'll show you the... So basically I'm creating a shoe. This is a design that I've created using Midjourney. Let me just show it to you for those who are just tuning in. So this is the design that I've created starting from this design, which I got out of Midjourney. This was a very simple prompt called, what did I say? I said chunky sneaker. I don't even think I said Nike. I just said chunky sneaker, futuristic chunky sneaker, chunky sole or whatever. And so I got this out. It took me like 4 or 5 iterations. And then I brought this into Photoshop. I repainted it because obviously there were a lot of things that I had to make sense of. You know, where do you lodge the foot? How does the sole wrap around the foot? You know, I'm not a footwear designer, not a shoe designer, but I do love sneakers. Like if you look behind me, there are shitloads of sneakers. It's something that I collect and that I take a lot of pride in. And so I said, okay, let me take now this design inside of Blender and let's see if I can sculpt a shoe that looks sort of like, I don't know, that looks like a shoe. So this is what I have so far. The model is almost finished. I'll have to address the sole probably in a different session. I've created the 3 different what is it called, elements, and now hopefully I'll be able to bring this into Substance and do a little bit of magic. Midjourney is so freaking cool. Used to create concept art, Mobius style. The results are incredible. Yes, they are incredible. There is right now the whole conversation about ethics, and you know, people seem to be very angry at you know, Midjourney, and I, in a way, I understand all the concerns. You know, like although I don't think Midjourney is the problem. I think that the problem is how we have become and how social media is rewarding certain behaviors, if that makes any sense. And so, you know, like people try to get a lot of attention making things just by prompting, and you know, like, and they use the styles and the prompts from other people and try, like, let me give you this example. When I was making the shoe and the design was finalized, somebody from, you know, because Midjourney, it's basically a chat in Discord, that person took whatever image Midjourney created for me and he started to remix it. And so, you know, this person might have gone to post that image as his own work. So what do you do in this case? Like, personally, myself, I don't really care, because like my aim as a designer wasn't to just create the concept and then publish it. I really wanted to go through the whole process of creating this shoe and finishing it as a 3D model. But you know, maybe that person went on to create his own design using my own prompt. How should I feel about this? Me, myself, I don't know. I really don't care for now. But maybe that's also wrong. You know, I should care. Maybe I should say, well, you know, like if now the standard is that we designers prompt things, and that's all we do, maybe I should be mad. On my Instagram, I made a fake Gumroad product, and I called it Fabio. What did I call it? Fabio award-winning prompt package or whatever. And a guy actually wrote me angry, telling me like, go fuck yourself, because you and your prompt business are killing the industry or whatever, something like that. And I was like, man, I actually made that as a joke. And the guy didn't even apologize. It was just like, okay, well, you should be careful. Carry on. He says something like that. People are just angry about everything these days. Draw. Yeah, there you go. So what do? We make a crease. That's what we do. We crease things here. I'll crease you, man. I'll crease you, man. Look at that curve, how sexy that is. Oh yeah. You can hear that curve saying, oh yeah, I like me as a curve. I like what I say. I'm the sexiest curve on YouTube right now. And you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe you are the sexiest curve on the YouTube. All right. Look at that escalated super quickly. Well, for me, Midjourney needs to be used as a tool, but not as an end result. I mean, I still think it's mind-blowing to watch artists, for example, painting from scratch. Yes, so basically, this is also, like, I'm not trying to have an opinion, I'm trying to observe, right? And I'm trying to understand what is happening. From my experience, what I've done for this very project, right? To me, Midjourney is just a tool like, say that I buy an asset pack from Kitbash, okay? This is in a way also sort of like cheating, if you think about it, because, you're using models that were made by somebody else and you're putting them together and whatever. But it's still like, it's not your work from scratch. And I remember, like, I've been in the digital design industry for a while. There were a lot of people that when Evermotion started to make collections, they were calling out artists for making art which was made in using Evermotion assets, now this is fairly normal, like you make a render, you use Evermotion assets, you don't even say it anymore that you used assets from Evermotion. It's become like normal, right? And so to me, this is right now the big question. Is it, okay, are we going to shift in society, and are we going to think, okay, it's fine to produce art using artificial intelligence? How far can we push this? That's why I'm trying not to get an opinion, yeah, people are mad, okay, I get it. I also make fun of those who say, oh, look at my art, I prompted it 16 times. My back is on fire because I was sitting on that chair for so long, waiting for Midjourney to get back to me. Sorry, I make myself laugh. I don't need a lot to entertain myself. But then again, you know, like I see the use that I made of Midjourney myself, and I'm like, that's okay. I think it's okay. I did not ask Midjourney to copy any specific style, and you know that's not a justification because Midjourney does it automatically. But you know, I did not go with the intention of saying like I want to make a Balenciaga shoe. You know, like it needs to be. I don't know. I don't know, man. I really don't know. Let me strip it a little bit. Ooh, too much. But did you see that? What is it called? Disturbed, the group that makes you know that song, "The Sound of Silence," the cover, "The Sound of Silence." They made already a AI generated music video, and people were pissed. They were like mad. I guess that there will be always somebody who will, you know, take full advantage of the situation and just go for it. I don't know. Again, I don't know. I know nothing. Oh, thank you, 18-6YZ. I will find love in my city. I'm so excited. Yes, Jonathan, I think the love cures everything. Artists made ever motion kit bash assets and are getting money for it. In this case, AI stealing artists' work and do not compensate them to create its own style. Yes, you see, again, like this is another way to look at it, and I'm totally with you. You're totally right. You know, it's something that this is another of the big fears that I have is that all these models that have been trained, right? They become property of whoever is making the software. And so if you as an artist are good enough, like the author of Steal Like an Artist say, right? And you manage to steal something and make it your own, and this becomes your way of making things. If you train a machine to do the same thing, now this model exists in the database of a company that can actually monetize on the work that you have created where you taught a machine to behave like an artist. And so you see, this is like this dog that bites its own tail and it's never ending, right? And so, yeah, you're definitely right. It's a very good point. What do we do then? Man, this conversation is getting heated. It's getting heated. 3 people watching this and everybody's contributing to the conversation. Yes, yes, Jonathan. Again, you know, like there is so much to consider here. But I do think it's important to have a conversation rather than just say, "Oh, fuck all, everybody uses AI and fuck you and fuck that." And this is not gonna bring us anywhere, you know, I'm afraid. And this is something that we're seeing a lot of people doing these days, like just getting mad and not going anywhere with conversations, which is, you know, the reason why, Luca, before I was telling you, like, it makes no sense for me to make content other than to try and get the attention of people. Um, you know, I'm making art right now and I'm sharing that part of my life. When I learn a little bit more about art and the new field that I'm in, maybe I'll share that, you know, maybe I'll share that personal experience. Just coming in a negative time. The one thing that I miss on Blender when I sculpt is layers. Like it would be nice to have a layer where I say, okay, I'm done with this. Now I create a new layer, and then I can put like a you know, part of the creation that I'm making. I'm gonna put it into a layer. You know what I mean? So that I can have it, and if it doesn't look good, I can simply delete it. This would be really nice to have. if anyone from the Blender Foundation is listening, Fabio would appreciate that. Too thick. So ZBrush does have layers, right? Guys, I'm really liking this, you know, like, I know that I should not say this because, you know, like, you gotta stay humble all the time, but I like this design. Let's see if I can make it slightly better. Let's make it a little bit softer. Okay, what I'll do now, we'll do this. I'll paint a nice mask. F. Let's see if I can do it. Okay, let me paint this area quickly. Instead of line, let's make space without the dot. Oh my god, the conversation is getting heated. How much polygons it can handle, yeah. Yes, so basically I started to see that my Blender files were getting clunky at around like 30 million polygons with you know, with a viewport. And apparently, from what I understand, this is not that much. Like, a friend of mine was telling me how, you know, when he does a reconstruction of an asset, like 30 millions is really like the starting point, you know. Okay, so Control I to invert the mask. As you can see, the mask unfortunately takes the crease as well, so I'm gonna paint it a little bit more. Oops, I went out a little bit. There you go. And now with the move tool, actually I could paint it a little bit more. There you go. So let me use the move tool. And with Control, I try to keep it at bay. There you go, Alt M. So now I have this element that is coming out a little bit. Actually, it's too little. Now it's really visible. Okay, Alt M. I will remesh my mesh. Jesus Christ, 1.3 billion polygons. What did you put in there? But you know, I gotta say, like, I'm having a lot better performance with Blender than I did in iPolis, than I had with any other software. You know, like, I don't want to talk bad about any tool, but yeah, this is to me the thing that makes me so excited about Blender. You know, the fact that it's just so powerful. It's just so powerful. Good, so let me try and see if I can actually scrape a little bit of these corners. Which mode do I have? Space, stabilize stroke. Let's see if it's too little. Let's see. Maybe scrape is not the nice. It's not the right. Let's see, what can we use? Clayton. No, scrape should work. Why is it not working? Oh, it's very low pressure. Let's try it again. Now you see the edge getting scraped a little bit. Now I'll do the same on top. I'll remove the symmetry, because otherwise you're gonna see it in the center. On top I'll do it a couple of times. Nice. And I'll do it at the bottom as well. Try to look more or less. You gotta be patient. Now, it's a good practice in Blender, I found out, when you scrape things, to go in both directions. Eh? What do you say? Look at it. This is actually good, looking good. I'm proud of this. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, now I really gotta call it the day. Guys, it was a pleasure hanging out. I loved having the conversation. Luca, thanks a lot for sending me your work in progress. Jonathan, thanks a lot for tuning in. I'm gonna stop the stream, but maybe we'll see each other tomorrow again, because I'm gonna continue working on this, okay? You guys have an amazing day, fantastic weekend, and lots of love to you. My pleasure, Jonathan. Thanks a lot for coming and see this. You know, like, oftentimes I'm like, who the hell wants to see this stuff? Okay, you guys have an amazing one.